kind of.
Hello, welcome to Monday Night Paranormal Live. Luke, that's the loudest I've heard you talk for years. Hello, welcome to Monday Night Paranormal Live with Paul and Jenny from Host for Ghosts, Angela from South Coast Ghosts, Julia from founder of Paranation Ghost Hunt Events. I've actually got that right for a change. And Luke, one of our investigators. So it's great to be back. Last week we had a bit of a break. Obviously, everybody was on holiday and doing bits. Julia was sunning it in Florida. Do you know how it is? So we were all here, there, and everywhere. So we've decided to have a bit of a break last Monday, which was good, because we've been doing this obviously non-stop for a while now. So tonight's subject is going to be about favourite locations and why. And also Julia came up with the idea on equipment failure and why. You know, why is it we charge it and get there and it doesn't work? And it's quite a funny story for Julia. It's got one, but it happens to us all. We go there and charge up, spend 2 or 3 days charging our equipment and get there and you think, well, why does it not work? So if you have any comments, please send them in. Angela will send them on the screen and we can answer them or read them out. So, right, who's going first then? Luke, you can go first for a change. Oh, no, I've got to talk. Oh, no. So your favourite location, Luke, and why?
Can we go from this year's one?
Anyone?
Yeah. So far this year.
Yeah,
so far this year. There you go.
Well, I've got two of them. I quite like Murley House and Maris Wood. Had the most activity, I think, this year.
Right.
I enjoyed doing the under the torch, under the face. Configuration.
That's it.
Yeah.
But that was quite good, that one you did. It was quite creepy, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Cheryl got off her chair and went and hid. It was
that was quite funny, wasn't it? She was having none of it, was she? Bless her. But that was very creepy, I must admit. You know, sitting there watching it, and I wasn't on the table with you lot. I was sitting on the sofa a little bit back with Dora. We were just watching it and thinking, how creepy is this looking?
Yeah.
You know, and it looked very much like a disabled person on the doing it, the movements and things like that. So it was a bit disconcerting, really, the way that his head was turning, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think it's one of those, the more we've done it, I think the better it's got. Especially now we're doing the Estes with the Transfiguration. I think that just adds a really good touch to it. And yeah, you know, every time I've done it, it's just got better and better. You know, last time Cheryl started laughing because Paul was sort of, he was like really normal, and all of a sudden his tongue just went like in and out like really fast a few times, and he had a dead straight face. So it wasn't as if he was just like messing about and like putting a funny face. It was like, and it just made her laugh. It made me laugh, and I think it just, you know, it just sort of like brought a little bit of extra energy there. But and with Luke, you know, that scared Cheryl, and she just ran and hid behind the chair because it just really creeped her out. And when I do it with Cheryl, you always get her eyes opening, well, the spirit eyes opening, so that's really good. But with Paul talks, and with Jen, oh my god, we got to do that again because Jen was like talking as well.
Yeah, that was really strange, wasn't it? That was definitely a man's voice, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was just a brilliant session. Really good. Really good.
It's hearing that man's voice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just thinking, well, that's not Jen's voice. How? Oh my god, who's that? You know, that really went well, that one.
Yeah.
Hi, Mason Lawson. Good evening, everyone. This is a wonderful broadcast. Always enjoy Monday evening. Thank you very much for that. We love doing it for you. So if you want to come on and have a chat with us, please do comment. We love it. Yeah, get in touch. Like Julie was saying, every time we do it now, it's whether it's us getting the hang of it or spirit coming closer, but that at Merley House was incredible.
Yeah.
You know, look, what got me was the way Luke's head was turning right on its side. You know, you couldn't physically do that.
I think
It just
just
can't.
go with it. You know, whatever
I can't-
however you feel and whatever you want to say, just go with it. And it's just, yeah, Luke. That was the first time Luke's ever done it, so
Yeah.
it was, it was good to have, someone different, give it a go, give it a shot,
Yeah.
and see what we get from it. Really good.
Yeah, for me, I'm used to working with spirits, so I felt as if I had like a man transfiguring me.
It was very strange. Your voice was very odd.
Yeah,
Very, very odd.
Yeah,
It was good trying to do that. And it was also when I was doing it and I heard the woman singing out in the hallway.
Oh yeah.
And then
unfortunately that lady started singing when you were trying to play it back, so we couldn't actually hear.
Sort of recorded it to see whether we could catch the second voice. I was doing it, Angela, and we were there doing it, and obviously I think Cheryl was laughing because I'd done some funny face. I don't know quite what happened. I had my eyes shut. But one stage I could hear a woman singing through the Estes method, and I'm thinking, and I lifted the headphones up because I thought somebody in the room was singing. And I said to them, "Who's singing?" And then they all looked at me. Cheryl's still laughing. And I'm saying, "No, who's singing? I can hear a voice, a woman singing." And then when I put the headphone back down there, and I could hear her singing clearly, like, "We'll meet again, don't know why," all that type of, and I could hear her. And she was like, not in the room, but outside the room. And then somebody said, "Oh, this was a communications room during the Second World War." They would have been playing that type of music on the radio there.
Yeah.
Which was very odd to hear that. And I'm thinking, no, it's got to be somebody singing in the room. So we decided to try and voice record it, didn't we? See whether we could catch the voice singing. But one of the guests next to us was singing along. I think Julia put the song on.
I put the song "You'll Meet Again," "We'll Meet Again" on out loud to try and see if it will encourage some activity. And there was a lady there, and she was singing it as well. But I think it's just one of those blips, isn't it? It just happens, and But
it was interesting to hear that voice and that singing. But it was like she was in the corridor or outside and not actually in the room. And I thought, well, somebody's singing in the room. Why are they singing? Lifted it sort of headphone up, and they're all laughing and whatever watching. And I'm thinking, well, it can't be in here then. And put the headphone down, and I could clearly hear her singing. So that was very, very odd. So what did you like about Merriswood then, Luke?
That's like the corridor bit with me, you and didn't you tap and it tapped back, I think.
Yeah, we had the knocking.
It's a strange feeling through that place as well. Like you can feel the energy so much strong in there.
It's very, very strong there.
Yeah.
And I think it was like Angela said, where it's room on room on room on room. You know, you could go on and there's rooms everywhere. That I don't think it got to half of the rooms, but that would probably be in mine. What would be yours, Angela, so far this year?
Definitely Merriswood, but North Fort as well. I think I like that place.
Yeah, I like that.
Good.
Yeah,
the sort of going down underground and like kept going round, and then I kept coming up different places and not really sure where I was. And then you had that bit that was like the little tunnel in the tunnel. What was it called? Ghost something or other. That was
Ghost Corridor or something, or Ghost
something
Passage,
like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was
just
creepy.
Lots of different bits and lots of things happening in lots of places, and definitely like to go back to that one, even though it's a bit far away, but
bit of a trek, wasn't it? But
it was good. It was good. Yeah. And
about you, Julia? Sorry.
Yeah, Merriswood House with that bit upstairs in the corridors where it went around like that with door over one side and us over the other side, and
that was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah. So many different sort of things we tried, and sort of, I saw someone, I heard something, and it was just
And it was like when we looked out the corridor and we thought it was Julia out in the corridor.
Yeah.
Because he gets in, the head popped round the corner. You remember? So, oh, it must be Julia. Must be up here somewhere. And then we looked out and there was nobody there. I thought, well, that's
Yeah.
strange. And then we saw it again, dash across. And then Amy picked it up, didn't she, as well?
Yeah.
And she was standing there.
Yeah.
And we were asking Dora, hi, Gemma. Hi, all Northfort and Marley. My favourite so far this year. Absolutely. Absolutely. Julie, what would be your favourite ones this year?
I think Northfort. I was with Gemma, and we were just walking back to the base room. We'd left a group, and we just decided to go back and grab a drink. And we're just walking back and just chatting amongst ourselves. And all of a sudden, it was like we were in this like little tiny like bubble, and you could hear about 2 or 3 people talking around us. And with me, it takes a couple of seconds to sink in that that's what's happening. So sometimes I'm a little bit blasé about it because I think, oh, and then I looked at Gemma and she looked at me and she had like the look of terror on her face. And she said, "Did you hear it?" And I said, "Yeah, I heard it." And she was like, she's going to run. And I thought, if you run, I'm going to run as well. And, we just like, none of us recorded it because it just happened so fast, like seconds, and the blip is gone. And we went back, we couldn't get it again. And also, before that happened, not too long before that happened, but before that happened, we were in another corridor, just around the corner from where we heard these people talking. Gemma took a photo, and it looks like, I don't know, it's a white, almost like a headless lady, or someone holding something in their hands, or holding their head in their hands, something really, really odd. And she's got a photo of it, and also like the tank room, that was odd. It was just a really strange place. Another favourite, it's got to be Shepton Mallet. It's got to be Shepton Mallet. That's another one of my favourites. Merley House, I wasn't thinking we'd get much at Merley, to be fair. I was, I'd heard a lot of hype about it, and I thought, oh well, let's go and give it a go. That surprised me at how good it was. It's just been, I'm just sort of trying to run through my head at the other ones we've done this year. But yeah, it's been a good year. It's been a good year. We've done lots.
We've had lots of things happen. I think mine would be not the fault. That when we were in the tank room and we heard the little voice, and then the scratching when we were all standing, like someone was scratching himself. I think we were with the boys then, Abnormal Paranormal then, weren't we? And we were all like, couldn't work out who was scratching.
Yeah.
And that just really intrigued me to how that noise was so prominent that not just one, but all. How many of us were there? 6, 7?
Yeah.
Maybe 8.
Something like that. Yeah, maybe 8. Yeah. And all of us heard it, didn't we? So it's very, very audible, and that to me was like, wow, and then looking back at the video where you get the child's voice, Mum, in the very background of the child's voice and the shadow across it, I really enjoyed the Fort. I thought it was a brilliant place. Few bits happened. Mariswood, for me, it was like going home. Like I'd never been away when I walked in there with Julia. We could have gone in early. We didn't. We wait for Julia to arrive, and then myself and Julia went in first and sort of started to take equipment in it. And
my first time as well.
Yeah, and I walked in there, and I had the feeling of like coming home when I walked in there, like I'd not been away. I investigated it with another group probably 10 or 11 years ago. I think we were one of the last groups to investigate before they stopped the ghost hunting there. And it was just literally like going home, walking in there. It was such a lovely feeling. And then I said to Julia, we should call out for the children. And we were stood there and we called out for the children, didn't we? and we waited. And could you describe his footsteps, Jeannie, or what would you describe the noises as?
Oh, I didn't think much was going to happen. And you said, "Oh, listen out for the children. Listen out for the children." And everybody else was outside. It's just me and Paul. And Paul said, "Children, are you there?" or something along those lines. Children. And we just listened, and you could hear like what sounded like light footsteps, and yeah, children's footsteps, not an adult. It sounded like, because they were like very quite quick, whereas an adult would go dum 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 dum, whereas it, yeah. And that was, it was kicking off before the event even started.
Such a great place. Even when I was with the other group, we had some real good, contact there, and even this time with Paranation, it was unreal. When we was at the second floor, in the corridor, I think it was myself, Luke, Angela, Amy, Dora, Jen. Was Jen there? I think so. No, Jen wasn't there, was she? No. And we had like Dora on the opposite side. Hello, you all right? So we had Dora on the opposite side, because the house, it's a very odd house, because it's a house, but it's square inside. So it's like has a square inside within the house. So it's a very strange build of a house. And we were obviously standing, and in the second floor or first floor, or whichever way you want to call it, they had the windows on all four sides, so you could see across from one side to the other, or opposite way round. And we had Dora go round one of the other sides, didn't we? We're saying, "Can you see the lady in the corridor opposite? Can you touch her?" And it was like quiet. We're all looking through the glass, and then you see Dora lift. Whoa! Like look! But Dora could hear us, but all she could hear was a mumbling, but not a clear voice. So she knew we were saying something, but not quite what. We said, "Can you touch her on her side?" She's like, "Oh," like looking at her side. Kept sort of looking down at her side, didn't she? And we're like laughing, thinking, "Yeah, can you open the door?" Do you remember? And the door opened. So we knew the children. The children are very prominent there, and another lady. They're very, very prominent there. But I think that's where we took a picture, and Angela's face had changed across the corridor. It was different. We saw the little child in the window look up above the windowsill and run off. And I run round to try and see if I can find out who it was, and there was nobody there. It literally was like someone had looked over the windowsill and run off. It was great. That was just superb. So I like that. Marley House, I really enjoyed that as well. That was a great thing. Beautiful house, stunning house. When you wander around inside, and when we were down in the basement, and we had all sorts of things going off down there. I think Jen was going out to come out of the basement. So we were walking along. There's a bit of a group of us. So I said to Jen, I'll see you out with the torch. And I was just a few paces in front of her, and we got to the doorway. And like Jen had screamed because they'd lost all sight of each other. It was just total darkness in there. And then they got the funny looking scarecrow in the beginning of the corridor. And I could have sworn someone grabbed my belt and pulled my belt. But it could have been me when Jen screamed, backed into the scarecrow. Because when I looked back with a torch, the hands were going like that, bouncing up and down. And I'm thinking, oh my God. So I think I backed into that myself and got myself a bit panicky. But I remember a split second looking round, and I couldn't see down the corridor, even though before you could quite easily see from the door down. It was a very strange basement. I think we were there with Gemma, a few of us, and then we were sitting in the room off to the side, and then the camera rolled off the sofa, didn't it, Luke?
Yeah, did you? Yeah, I saw it. That's good, yeah.
I had the camera on the sofa, so I knew it was safe, and it was sitting there recording us. There was myself, Gemma's friend. Was it Mark? I think what his name was. Who else was there? You, Luke, Lynn,
Amy. No,
Amy.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. So we were sitting in there, and it was such a strange place, wasn't it? And then we're calling out, and we heard bits and pieces, taps, and a bit of a knock, and odd bits, but you know, and then the camera was rolling, and then the camera just rolled along the sofa. And we're all looking at the camera thinking, well, how's that just rolled along the sofa? So I picked it up thinking maybe it fell over on its own, put it back in the same place, and it never did it again. And then inside that room, we had a massive heavy table, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we tried to lift it and couldn't lift it. That's how heavy it was. So I said, why don't we try a table tipping? Because if we can move that table, then, you know, that's incredible strength to move that table. So we're trying and not really getting anything, were we, Luke, on the table? It was very...
No.
And then suddenly it went dark in the room. You know, when you know the atmosphere change, you know, when you know something's coming, you get that silence beyond the silence, don't you? It just goes like someone flicks a switch, it goes quiet and then it's dark. You think, oh my God, where is this? What's going on? And then suddenly there was the biggest bang on this big table that I'd ever heard, wasn't it, Luke?
Yeah.
Of course, Gemma's screaming, trying to run out of the room. Because I had the idea, I said, I'll shut the door so we don't hear anybody else's voice down the corridor. Gemma will tell you. And it was this biggest bang on the table. I thought somebody had rolled off the table or rolled on the table. And it was this biggest bang. Of course, you know what Gemma's like. She's very edgy anyway. And she was like screaming, running to her friend. Then she was trying to run and everybody was trying to make it to the door, but the door was shut. Why did you shut the door? She says to me. I could have got out of it. But that was quite hectic in there, Luke, wasn't it? That room. Yeah. That was quite a bang, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we kept seeing what looked like a person popping out behind the stairs down there. And they kept poking their head out. And we had the green laser lights down there for a while and trying to pick it up. And we were putting the laser light in. I think Julia was there at that time.
Yeah, you got that EVP, and we were trying to work out what the EVP said.
Yeah, and when you listen back to it, do you know what? It sounds like a French name. Something Le Tour, it says. I tried cleaning it up on my Adobe thing, and I just can't get it. It's like Sarah Le Tour is the name. So it's a French, it's a double-barreled name. It was like Esther Labor or something like that when you listen to it. I think I sent it to people, and it's like a double barrel, like a French name, Lavor, or it's something like that. So I'm not sure whether we could look that up. But, you know, having the head stick out from behind the stairs, and when I said to one of the tour guides there about it, and he said, yeah, he's had that experience when he locked up. He had his SLS camera and he was wandering down there. And he was doing it on his own as he was locking up late one night. He thought he'd just try it, you know, have a go. And then he said he saw what looked like a person standing down the very end of the corridor, actually stopped, looked at him, and then carried on their business. And apparently that corridor was used for the servants to go up and down to bring the food up there. So that sort of confirmed what we saw. We even moved the laser light to try and get a better view, or try and change the dot positions, wouldn't it, Julie? So we could get a clearer view right down past it. But whatever it was down the bottom. You know,
you can imagine that being a kitchen, or, you know, kitchen and servants' quarters down there, because it was so, for a basement, it was quite intricate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Most basements nowadays are sort of like a quarter of the size that they were, because they just blocked them all off. But this was just, it was just vast. Huge basement, and one of the end rooms had 3 what would have been fire pits or fire like shaped fires in the wall. So you can only imagine it would, like you say, kitchen, servants' quarters. And I walked down very first one, just walking down and having a look. I forget who's with me. Might have been Gemma and Cheryl. And I got to the very end room past the stairs, opened the door, and I saw an old lady sitting in a rocking chair. And I went, oh, sorry, shut the door and carried on. I thought, then I said to Jim, I said, who are you saying hello to? Sorry. I went, there's an old lady in that room. I'm thinking, how can that be? And I went back, and it was just like a storeroom. And I'm thinking, well, what did I just see in the rocking chair then? And that sort of happened upstairs when you when you went up to the landing.
there was a very, very strange feeling on top of that landing when we first got there.
It was.
Very odd. It was like you got to the top step and you walked into something, like something wasn't allowing you to move.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you remember that? And we would sort of stand there. I think it was myself, Luke, Gemma, Cheryl. Was it Cheryl was there?
Might have been, yeah.
So we were standing there thinking, this has got a very, very odd
Yeah.
odd feel to it. Like it didn't want you to go past. It wanted you to see or do something there. And I was standing there, and I don't know why it happened, but I was standing there, and I think Gemma was in front of me, Cheryl was to the left, Luke was slightly behind me, and I actually saw a man walk past me. And when we were standing there towards the banister, and I could see him waving his finger at this girl, and I could see her backing up, and then she disappears over the top. And it lands up down the bottom of the stairs. Obviously, sadly passed away. And that, I think that's the trauma feeling you're getting at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a name, Annabelle, or Annabelle, wasn't it? So,
I think it was, yeah.
Gemma's going, oh, God, that's the feeling. That could be the feeling we're all getting here, standing there. So I went down and asked the man. He said, how did you get that? And I said, well, what? This is what I saw. And he said, that's exactly what happened. And the daughter was Annabelle. She had an argument with her father, and she was going back, stumbled, and went straight over the banisters. Because it must have been a good 15, 20 feet down when you looked over, didn't it? It was quite a distance down. So, that started off there like that. And I thought, well, this is a good venue. And we got into I think they called it the nursery room, where we did the seance around the table and the transfiguration. That was a very good room. But all in all, my favourite places that I like North Port. Jennifer, I will never forget Shepton Mallet when I went for a walkabout and Julia's and my neck all of a sudden felt like it had been pulled a muscle and woke up after sleeping funny. And I said to Julia about my neck, and she said she had the same as we walked back, and I still hadn't had it. Then after an hour, it went the weirdest thing. Do you remember that, Julia?
I think she was with the other Julia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they went off together, and
Right.
It almost felt like they had like a sore neck, or but yeah, so that could be connected with maybe a hanging or something that went on in the prison. I do think that Gemma she can sense things.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's a reason that brought her. There's a reason why she does ghost hunting, and there's a reason why she was brought to do it. Same with all of us. There's a reason why this is our hobby, and we're doing it. So, but yeah, it's it was an interesting place. I just think with Shepton Mallet, I still don't think I've been around it all. I haven't investigated it all, and I'd like to go back, but I think it's too soon. Maybe sort of like middle of next year or something.
Yeah.
And Shrewsbury, I'd like to do Shrewsbury one as well.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that, Shrewsbury Prison.
That's another one.
Also, M Wood, I had to leave the room, blue room, as I had someone not human breathing, felt like it was down my ear. No one else could hear it. I moved and still heard it, and went on for about 20 minutes consistent. I had to leave that room as it was too much. Is that Marley House or Merris Wood?
Merris Wood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But Merris Wood is a great place. It's an unusual place. It's like what you got to concentrate on there is be outside as well as inside.
That's interesting, yeah.
Because something happened outside. I'm not going to say what, but something happened out there that really affects the house inside. So get your tickets if you're watching here for Merris Wood. Go on to the paranation.co.uk website, buy your tickets, come and join us at Merris Wood this Saturday, August the 2nd. Is that right?
Yeah.
August the 2nd. You won't be disappointed. It's a great, great location. right just out the other side of Guildford, so it's not a difficult place to find, but it's a terrific place, a terrific venue, and you'll enjoy it. It's a venue that when we did it previously, it just got better and better, and that's the first place I saw what out the front. I'm not sure what you mean. What out the front?
Oh, I think she
Oh,
means the
What out
garden.
the front?
Garden,
I think it's the back
round the back.
garden.
Yeah, round the back, Gemma. As you walk round, there's a couple of big trees just on the lower level. Next time you're there, have a wander out there and see what you feel.
I think we came out when you were down there with Luke, Lynn, and a couple of others.
That's right, yeah.
And we came out and see. Well, we didn't realise you were out there, so we came out and stood with you for a little bit. But yeah, I can imagine being out there on your own can be quite unnerving.
Yeah. We didn't get a great deal out there. So somebody got some good pictures, whether it was Gemma or someone got some good pictures, or Dora, of what looked like someone standing behind the tree looking at us. But I'm not sure. But I know a bit about what happened outside, and it's quite tragic, really. But whatever happened outside affects the inside of the house as well. So it's like where we had the base room. That's a very active room. I thought that was Merley. What was that? Merris Wood. Yeah. Merris Wood was the Guildford one. Merley was the Wimborne. Is that right?
Yeah.
Wimborne, that's right. The Merley house, Gemma, was the one where we stood up on the landing, and I said I saw that girl go over the banister. Do you remember? And we went and asked the man and the lady downstairs, and we got the name and the situations right, didn't we? Do you remember? You went, "Oh my God, how did you get that?" Like Gemma does. It's brilliant. I love it. I think the funniest thing I've seen is when we were at Oxford Castle and Prison, and we were sitting in that ladies' room, and Julia touched Gemma's leg.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen anybody jump so high up in my life. It was so fun because everybody else jumped at the same time, so it was quite funny. It was quite.
It's not often I do it, but when you just like everyone's just sitting there and you're just like, I'll just touch her leg. She's shot. I haven't seen anyone move so fast. It's normally the bobble hat. It's the bobble on the bobble hat that gets me. I always have to give it a bit of a, but yeah. She knows it's me. She knows I'm just messing about. But
she does.
Yeah.
She does go, doesn't she? But she really, I think when she's on the investigation, she's always on the edge, and she waiting for something to happen. When we were in that room and had to bang on the table, she just screamed and she was running to try and get out the room, but it was quite a hefty bang on the table. Because I looked straight away and thought something's gone on the table. I looked over the table, didn't I? Look under the table, I walked around the room, thinking something's got to have dropped. We couldn't find anything, nothing at all. But it was the biggest bang that I think I'd ever heard. And I think the other strange thing really that comes to mind is when we were at Waverley Abbey with the mist.
That was, yeah.
That was really, really strange. Because I'd never seen anything like it. I forget who was there. It was myself, Jen, Dora. I think, were you there, Angela?
Yeah,
Luke was there, Lynn.
No.
Amy, yeah.
Amy.
Yeah.
No, Angela wasn't there. And we were standing over by the hanging tree. And I remember Julia showing me a picture of a lady in white that Julia had caught many years ago. I suppose I'd say many years ago, I'm not sure. But it was a very good picture of a lady standing in the field.
I don't know if you can see my hands, but she had her arms up like that, and then her arms were down. But a few years before that, my friend Derek, he was in his mid-60s. He took a photo of, in nearly exactly the same place, this misty form. So it's nice. Every time I go, I always try and take a picture of the same place. And he got this misty form, and then a few years later, I got this what looks like a woman in a white dress with long black hair. It could be a man putting his hands up and then hands down, and yeah. So God knows what's happening. Almost like possibly chanting or something, or leading some sort of congregation or something. I don't know, but yeah. So it's just one of those places where every time you go, you unravel a little bit more, and then you unravel a bit more and a bit more. So yeah, it's
great place.
it is, yeah.
And we were just standing there, really, sort of over by the tree, trying a bit of filming and like you do. And it suddenly came to me, and I thought it was quiet. You know, we had bits and pieces going on, but not one of them nights where it does bits and pieces and then just goes quiet. So we thought we'd go over to the tree and try doing a bit over there, because sometimes you can get, you know, activity all over there, can't you? No matter where you go. So we did a bit of calling out, and then we thought we heard something in the tree, but we wandered around the tree and really couldn't see much around the tree. So we were all standing in a bit of a circle, I suppose. Jen was sitting on the wall sort of to the right of us. And I thought, I remember Julia taking a picture of a lady here. So I said, the lady in the grey or in the white that we took a picture of, do you think you could show yourself? And then, I don't know whether it's seconds or minutes later, there was this massive fog around us, and we couldn't see our way out. And it literally was swirling around us, not going sort of past us and carrying on. It was actually going around us, all of us. And I'm thinking, well, that's very odd. And everybody's going, well, how are we going to find our way out? Because we can't even see, you know, your hand in front of your face. It was that thick, that quick. And I sort of stepped out the mist and looked in. And when I stepped out, it was like as clear as day outside. And I stepped back in again, and this mist literally was swirling round and round us. Do you remember that, Luke? And you were sort of walking round and round looking, because you think at that specific time something's going to come through that mist, because it appeared out of nowhere. And then I forget how long it lasted, a few minutes, a minute, 5 minutes, 5 minutes maybe of going round.
Yeah.
And we couldn't see the ruins at all through the mist. It was gone. It just lost completely where we were in the field. And then as quick as it came, it went. And it just went back to normal light again. And I was looking along the grass to see if it was mist that was moving along the grass, like you do. It was clear. It was just suddenly cleared, and we could see everything like normal again. So I think Jen Googled up about mist, and that's normally the first sign of an apparition manifesting is the mist, and it comes out of the mist towards you. So I don't know what happened that night, but it was a very, very strange night. It was like the night you went there and saw that, well, dragon or whatever it was flying in the sky, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was quite strange. And I think, I don't know if it was that time or the time before, we were in the cloisters, and not much was happening, to be fair. We were just, you know, seeing it as a bit of a social get together and chatting, you know, meeting up with everybody. And then all of a sudden you heard what sounded like a child saying mum, like mum. And you're like, oh my gosh, where's that come from? But it's just one of those places. Every time you go, you know, I always find dusk is the best time to take photos. And, you know, if you're going to get anything ghostly, you know, dusk. I think over the years, I think it's a change of light, you know, where it's getting dark, and then it's also still light. I think it's a change of light, and that's what makes them easier to photograph. But that's my theory anyway. But yeah, it's an interesting place. Sadly I missed that one. I had something going on my end, but yeah, it was. Hopefully we can get another one in before the end of the summer. Even though it's nearly August already.
It would be nice, wouldn't it, while it's still warm?
It'd be nice to get everyone together, and just for like a you know, a bit of a get together, and it's just nice.
It's not that far for everybody either, is it?
No, it's not too far. Not too far.
Luke enjoys the fish and chips there anyway.
Chips. Nice, you got to have some chips, haven't you, or something?
Yeah,
you know. So
we do have a bit of a laugh when we're there, don't we? And catch up in times, and Yeah, we've
Yeah.
had some good there. Like you say, I think, you know, there's many levels there that we've not got through. You know, dowsing with looking for the ley lines, you know, that was right,
good.
wasn't it? That was just right on the money, wasn't it, that one?
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe I ought to use
yeah.
those dowsing
I
rods a
think
bit
when I
more.
first had the Alex box,
Yeah.
on the-
I think
Oh.
Paul's broken up. Has
Yeah.
he? He's frozen.
Frozen.
He's frozen.
Yeah.
Looks like he's just about to stick his tongue out. No, he's not.
We're back.
Yeah, I think he's. Are you back? Oh,
Yeah,
you're
we're back. I
There
lost
you
all
are.
connection then.
Yeah, froze. I said, it looked like you're going to stick your tongue out again. It wasn't even like that. It was so fast. It was like, yeah, it was just so funny.
I don't know.
I've got quite a good
My eyes
poker face, and
up.
yeah, I have recorded it. I'll pass it across, but I've got quite a good poker face.
No, you
And
don't.
but Cheryl started laughing. She did just like laugh, and I was gone. I was like, I can't hold it back. It was just so funny the way I think her laughing made me laugh.
Yeah,
Not so much of what you did, but it's because it made her laugh, and you know, that made me
weird,
laugh.
wasn't it? I didn't even know
Yeah.
I'd done that because when I took the headphones off, everybody was laughing. I'm thinking, what are you all laughing at? That was quite funny though. It adds to the energy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And I think, you
We-
know, some people say, oh, be quiet, be quiet. You know, we need to hear everything. We need to hear everything. But I think if anything's going to happen, you'll hear it. You'll be able to tell, you know, between environmental or ghostly, you know, you'll be able to tell. It's quite
Yeah.
different.
But you
But-
normally find things happen after when you're talking anyway. A bang, a knock, a voice, something when you're talking, or you just finish the end of a phrase and there's something happens. It's always the way, isn't it? You can sit there with your voice recorder going.
Mhm.
I'm going to try it on Saturday.
You're going to
Okay.
do psychic transfiguration, Gemma.
Mm.
Ooh.
Oh,
Not with that
Okay.
bobble hat on, I hope. We might end up getting Noddy come through or something. We could do without that.
one of
But
the
yeah,
flumps. It reminds me of the flumps. Do you remember the flumps?
Yeah,
And there's that little one with the like white bobble hat.
Yeah, funny.
As long as figures don't come along as well.
that's what Jen said. As long as big ears
That's
don't
my
turn up, we'll be
favourite.
all right.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember it a little bit.
but that guy that one of Gemma's friends,
Yeah,
Mick.
I think it's Mick, Mike, but yeah.
Mick. He's coming again this Saturday, and he's bringing his wife with him.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, he said he, you know, absolutely loved it, and he's coming back.
Nice. I think a friend of mine at work's he said he was gonna try and book 2 tickets tonight. So him
Fantastic.
and his wife never been on one before. But he always asked me, how'd you get on the weekend? What happened? What's this?
Yeah.
What's that?
Come along.
So, you know, I said, come along, see it for yourself, experience it yourself. And
Mm.
so I'm hoping he's got on the site tonight and booked. He said he was going to try it tonight. So,
I'll
you
let
know,
you know if it comes through.
yeah.
But yeah, more the
yeah,
merrier.
yeah.
If anybody wants
Yeah.
to come, we're a friendly group. We're very relaxed. You know, there's no schedules. You're allowed to bring your own equipment. You're allowed to go off and do your own experiments. And, you know, we just want to know what, you know, that you can get, you know, what you get, and, you know, make the evening your own. We're just hosts, we're just guides, and, you know, we'll just, you know, we've got plenty of years of experience between us, decades of experience between us, and, you know, we know some tricks up our sleeve where we can, you know, coax them out of the shadows.
Yeah. Yeah. Try and get him to join us.
Yeah, so, you know, we're quite experienced, so yeah, we'll come along, come and join us, even if you just do it the once. I think it's something good to experience, but
Yeah.
not all events are the same. Even if you go to the same place time after time, it's never the same, so you're never going to get the same experience as you did last time.
Yeah. Yeah. Every day's a school day, isn't it? When you're doing
Yeah.
the paranormal world, you know,
Yeah.
no 2 investigations are ever the same, are they?
And we
You know?
never really have a flat night. We haven't had a flat night
No.
for a very
No.
long time.
I don't
Very,
know.
very long time. There's always stuff going on, and
It's what
I
you
think
put
when
in is what you get out, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. And if you go with like an excited, you know, the excitement of going on a ghost hunt, and you keep that up, that's what that's what they want. They want that good positive energy, and
Yeah.
if they hear you laughing, and take your eye off the ball, have a giggle, tell your friend next door a joke or whatever, and then things
Yeah.
will start happening, because they're like, hang on, you're trying to talk to me. Why are you not talking to your
Yeah.
friend now? They're trying to get your attention then.
Well, you're not listening to me. I'm trying to make a noise here. And you get that tap tap, the knock knock, and all of that type of stuff. Andrew, have you got anywhere else?
Dum.
I can't remember where I've been. I have to look it all up and then go, oh yeah, I remember now.
I was bad. I'll say, Jen, you remember we went
Isn't
so
it?
and so? Where was that? She'll say, that was so. Oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
I can't always remember where we are. I think
No.
I really enjoyed not that we've done it this year, the old Petersfield police station.
Oh yeah, I was trying to get in there. I've been trying to get in there again.
That's
Yeah,
really
we've
good.
done Merley House, Merriswood, Oxford Ghosts, Oxford Castle,
Yeah.
Shepton Mallet, Fort Woodley. That's always a good one.
Yeah, that was a good night there.
Devizes Town Hall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Victoria
You forget
Hall.
all this.
I think it was just me, Cheryl, and Gemma. We did the Victoria Hall. I think lots of people were busy.
Yeah.
Bombay Sapphire.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed the Bombay Sapphire.
Those people. Right at the
Got them
beginning,
apparitions
going
walking into an old doorway that wasn't there.
Yeah.
That was when I think myself and Ian were there. We're the first ones there.
HMS Warrior.
I never did that one. I don't know what. I think.
Oh, I think because it was
very cold.
Very cold, wasn't it? And the
Stormy.
steps and everything. It was,
Stormy,
the steps were very steep. Yeah.
Mm.
We only got into that, I think, because the guy who was helping host, the caretaker guy, we turned up. There was two people there. I was supposed to be meeting Robin and who's my friend? What's her name? It's gone. And my friend, I can't remember his name. It's an age thing. And so I turned up. Robin was a lady, so I said, she was there, and I was like talking to her and everything. And I said, look, we really need. I said, I've got like 45 people turning up within, 45 minutes. I need to get on that ship. Oh, you can't. And there's a couple of other guys there, young lads. No, you can't go on. I said, I have to get on that ship. And then Greg, there you go. It's come back to me. Greg, he came along, and I was starting to get really fed up, to put it mildly, by this point, because I'm like, we're nowhere near the buildings. We are on the sea. The ship's rocking and everything. We are going to be on the sea, well away from everywhere. Just let us on the ship, because I can't tell all these people, sorry, you've got to go home.
Yeah.
Anyway, this man started talking, and I thought, I recognise that voice. And I went, Greg. He went, Julia. What? He goes, and I said, oh my God. He was on the very first ghost hunt I did 17 years ago at Pretty's Heart, and he was the caretaker there. And I said, I need to get on that ship. I said, if I don't get on that ship, I'm going to have an awful lot of disappointed people who braved the weather just to get down here. I said, and I'm going to have to reschedule it. It's going to be so much work, and disappointed people. Then they might not be able to make that date. I said, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. And he said, well, we've got to wait for the MOT to go around and check it all and that. And I said, yeah, I know. I said, but, and I was starting to look. And even like Mark Ricketts was standing in front of me. And I think he knows when not to talk to a woman. That was one of those times. And, it was just awful, an awful start. And it was like blowing a gale. It was raining. and he said, "Come with me." He said, "Put all your stuff on this trolley. Come with me." And he just like barged past everybody, got us on the ship. He said, "Well, what can they do now? Kick us off of it." And I was like, oh, "Okay." But it went ahead, and we had an absolutely brilliant night. It doesn't look like a big ship, but when you're on it, you can go around and not see anybody. You can be literally on your own. It was vast, fantastic place, but sadly, just that little bit out of our price range. But we've done it, and that's the big tick in the box. And that's, sometimes it's about the experience, isn't it? It's not always about money. No, it does help, but yeah, it was amazing. I'm pleased that we managed to.
You're back on the laptop again.
Do it.
Yeah, sometimes it's a privilege, isn't it? You get to these locations, even though they're very expensive. But it may be a one-off one you do. You think, well, we've done that, ticked it off the list, and we're okay. We're good for what we're doing. So it's always nice to do that. And you had quite an active night on there as well, didn't you? If I remember rightly.
Yeah, I think. Oh, from what I remember, we were doing. Some people were doing the glass. Might have been Gem and Neil, maybe Dora. Were doing this glass moving, and it came up with someone's name. Maybe they're doing the board or something. Came up with someone's name and a number, and there's these like rooms with all these like kit bags. So they went to find the number on the kit bag, trying to tie it up, and under the kit bag was this person's name. Absolutely unbelievable. And there was, I don't know, about 100 of these kit bags. There's no way that anyone could have like gone along and remembered a name and remembered a number and faked it. It was just amazing. Devizes Town Hall, that was another good one this year.
Yeah,
Another
on
good
the stairs. We had a very good contact on the stairs that night. Myself and Jen and Dora, I think Sindel and her group were there as well, and that was a great night on the stairs. You were upstairs, weren't you, in the big room upstairs? You had good activity up there, didn't you?
Yeah, there was like a big blue room with like a mirror each end, which was a bit disconcerting. And we had a group of about 6 people that we've never met before. So there was me and Gemma. I think Cheryl was there as well, and Zoe. And we went to Minter's big room, sat down with them. They said they'd done a ghost hunt before, so you're like, okay, that's good. You know what to expect and everything. We started doing the glass moving. That was going really well. Then we started doing like the plan checks. We thought, we'll try and get it to write something. They had big curtains from like floor to ceiling, and the windows were all closed and everything. And one of the curtains just like whooshed out. And we're like, oh, heard a scream as well in that room, like a woman's scream. And the plan check kept on writing, help me. We're like, well, help you. What happened? What happened? And then it was going, RPE me, RP me. And you're like, oh my God, it's saying that. I can't say it because we're live, but that's what it was saying. Help me, me. And it was just like really, really sort of like creepy, and it was just really creepy. And we were knocking on the table. It knocked on the table. And the people around us that had been on a ghost hunt before, they said, oh, we've done like 2 or 3 ghost hunts before, and this is like the most activity we've had, with all of them put together. And I looked at my watch. I said, well, we're only an hour in. I said, hopefully it will continue for the next few hours. I said, I said, it's amazing. A great time. So
we do get some good activity. When it starts, we were on the stairs and I had my jacket tucked, and the town cry, wasn't it? We heard.
Yeah.
Heard the town cry downstairs, and Sindel was calling out. We had
you had your
jacket tucked.
Pulled, yeah.
It was really active on the stairs.
To Luke, didn't it?
What happened to you there, Luke?
Well, the stairs bit.
Yeah.
Can't remember now. Can't remember what it was now.
Well, we had noises in the room behind the stairs and cat balls going off on the stairs and a really strange. You wouldn't think there'd be much activity on the staircase, would you? Really, but it was really, really good. I enjoyed that Devizes Town Hall. Bit of a distance to go, but it was very active. Very, very good place.
Yeah.
So
How
we've
long
had
did it take
some-
you to get there? Was it
Oh,
quite a trek?
yeah, it's about over 3 hours for us.
Really?
Yeah. It was getting on that way.
Yeah.
I think it was about. I think when we arrived, Angela was already there having a dinner in the van. I think, if I remember, is that right, Angela? You were in the van, weren't you?
No, she went out
I
for
was
dinner.
in the car, but I
You
had
went out?
Oh, in the car. That's right. Yeah,
She
had
went
a
out for dinner.
Chinese.
had a Chinese. Love it.
That was nice.
We had a Chinese while we were away in Spain, and we were served by robots.
Oh, really?
Oh, we've got one of those here.
Have you?
Oh,
Yeah. And you go down these stairs and it's sort of like underground, and you have these little robots come up and serve you the food.
That's it. Yeah,
And they can
You have
sing
a
happy birthday to you as well.
yeah. You
I'll
have a
try and
tablet
find
on the
the video.
table. Yeah,
mm.
we had like tablets on the table. You order your food, and they come over with it. You take your food off, and then it goes off again. Really clever. Really clever. We were impressed with that. Little things
Please, little one.
please little minds.
Bigger fools look on.
Bigger fools look on. Yeah. So that brings us on to anybody else got a favourite location and stuff, or have we done that?
We're done.
Okay. Equipment failure. So who's had what go on then?
Shall I go first? Mine is mainly myself, because I don't know how to charge equipment properly. So that's been an issue the last couple of times where I've tried to charge a couple of items and I've got there and it's not working, but that's because of me. But yeah, mainly things go dead quite fast, like laser grids. They lose charge very fast sometimes, and then other times they can go on all night, can't they?
Yeah. I've had that a few times. Widley had that down one of the tunnels with Gemma once. We were calling out, can you turn the lights out? And I knew it was a new battery because I had to charge the batteries and stick them in the belt. And then as they die, you just feed it a new battery. So I knew the battery was good. And that was like, I forget how long we were there, myself, Gemma, and a couple of others. And it actually turned the lights out, literally turned them off. And the battery was dead, completely dead, gone. And it was only minutes. It had gone from being a new battery to dead, and it done what we asked it to do. It turned the lights out, drained the battery, and I've had it on the camera before, like at Merley House where the camera rolled along the sofa. I think it was done to not so because just shortly after that we had the bang on the table, and the camera was in standby mode. And I know it's recorded because the red light flashes on it to say it's recorded. And it literally just rolled on the sofa and then it was in standby mode. Whether it went into standby mode because it rolled over or it's tilted or so, I don't know. But it was actually in standby mode, like somebody had turned it off and put it out of the way so you couldn't see anything. Because I think shortly after that was the bang.
We had the laser grid at Shepton Mallet where we're down in one of the wings, and it was about 1 a.m, and we just sort of like put the laser grid on a table and just left it, and we were doing something else, and then the lights were going on and off on the laser grid, and we're like, oh, okay, can you turn the lights off, and can you turn the lights back on, please? And then it, and we were just probably doing that for about an hour, and it was turning the lights on and off. And Mark Ricketts was there with one of his friends, and his friend just said, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. And we're like, yeah, it's none of us are touching it, none of us are, it's not got a remote control or anything like that. You're welcome to have a look at it and everything. It's just something is making it go off, and it's not the batteries.
Yeah Yeah, I think we had that at the where was the theatre in Portsmouth we went to? Groundings.
Oh yes, yeah.
When Luke's REM pod kept going off, didn't it, Luke?
Yeah, did you?
And we kept thinking it's got a fault with it, there's something wrong with it. Switched it off, switched it on, switched it off, switched it on, and it was just continuously going, wouldn't it? It just would not reset.
And Maris Wood as well done that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's it's whatever it was. I've found it a couple of times on my voice recorder, and I've you know what I'm like with my voice recorder. I go everywhere with it and try it all the time. And a couple of times, and Maris Wood did it. I've done a recording like with all of us there, and you can hear a bit of a noise and then nothing, just completely silent. But I know we were talking and listening and picking up the voices. But that's probably the second or third time it's done that. It goes on to record, and you can hear us say, "Is there anybody there?" Can you, we go through the normal stuff, and then normally you'll get a rush, a noise, and it just is just flatlined, like nothing. And I'd go back and listen to it, and there's nothing. There's no voices of us talking in the beginning, and nothing at the end. Because often at the end I'd say, end recorded, or I say where we are, downstairs, upstairs, kitchen, wherever. Give you an idea where you're recorded. And the 3 occasions it's done it, you haven't heard the location, there've been no voices and nothing at the end, but it shows the recording. So I'm not sure what people make of that. Whether that's equipment failure,
Pocket fumbling.
Well, yeah, in my pocket, yeah. In the heartbeat. Andrew's got a whip out. Look, someone's about to get a whip. Ben, are you getting a whip in there, boy? Yeah. So, what about you, Luke? What have you found equipment-wise?
I think my mum's phone turned off once, and she couldn't turn it back on again. We had to reset it. Had to do like a special button to put on or something. Reset it.
Where was that?
The convent, I think it was. He tried to charge it and it wouldn't charge.
Oh, that was a great place, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it just?
Brilliant place. Yeah.
I'm pleased that we managed to do it when we did.
Yeah. It's a shame we didn't get in there on that January, but yeah, it's a great place there. And also Saturday at Maris Wood, Jen will be there doing some drawings, so hopefully she'll pick up some faces and bits of drawings. And
she drew me last time.
Yeah. Turned out to be you, Luke. So maybe you're on the other side, Luke. We just don't know it.
Yeah.
Or someone that looks very similar to you.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, because Jen drew the face of the lady. Was it the lady first?
It's over there.
It's over there.
Yeah.
So she drew the lady's face first, and then do a drawing. What did you start to draw, though? What did you think? A man, a woman?
It's a man, and then Dora said, "Oh, that looks like Luke." So I kind of sorry. I know you can hear me, but you can't see me. I'd lost the connection by then. So I thought, oh, sorry, I'll just draw Luke.
You drew the lady first, didn't you?
I'll show you.
You're just going to get the lady's picture first, show you. But you drew the lady first, so
yeah.
Hopefully
And
Saturday.
that's the one I thought had gone over the...
And this is what the lady, when we described it, gone over the banister in the beginning. That one.
That does look like a young lady, doesn't it? To me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. We can see that properly.
I wonder if they've got a photo of this woman.
Be interesting to know, wouldn't it?
Merrily have, yes.
But Jen,
Not too shabby considering I only started about a year and a half ago. Drawing faces.
so it's quite good. But sometimes you get a face, don't you? And you think, well, that puts a face to a name or a situation, a feeling in the house.
Or we get a picture of, a portrait or whatever.
Yeah,
somewhere
you can compare it to. It's. But I think like at Mary's Wood, if you could pick up what happened there, it'd be amazing. I think you'll be surprised. But it's a place that really does give. You have to go there a few times. So, as we said earlier, get onto the website, paranation.co.uk, book your tickets. It's this coming Saturday. So come and join us. So that would be good. Be a good night there. As it gets darker earlier now, so the house will be darker earlier.
Yeah,
So it
it's
doesn't
going to
go
be
on for
quite
so long.
spooky, isn't it? I think we
Mhm.
start
Change
at 8, so what's it, 9:30 now, and it's really, it's really getting quite dark out there.
Yeah, I
I
was
might
just looking
try
out the
my
window.
dowsing rods around by that tree and see if I pick up
Yes,
anything
yeah.
from my rods. I don't tend
Yeah.
to use them very often because I feel people might think they're quite boring.
But you've got to think they're another form of communication with the spirit world.
Yeah, and I have been doing it a very long time, so I've got to
Exactly.
put more trust in them.
Exactly, yeah. Because you understand them and how they move, don't you? So,
Yeah.
all them years working with them, you believe what they tell you. You have no reason to doubt what's coming through. So,
We should definitely do the scrying and the Esther's thing.
yeah, do that there. The scrying
Yeah.
and the Esthers thing there
Yeah.
again.
Maybe
See
in
we
that
can get
big room that goes off to the garden, because I didn't really
yeah.
get anything in that room last time I was there. I thought we'd get a
And-
lot in there because it looks quite it's got quite a lot of character to it, but I didn't get anything at all in that room. I don't know if
Andrew,
anybody else did.
Yes,
Andrew, did we get where Dora's face was changing?
Yeah, one where she said she'd been like wide awake all evening, and then in that room she was
Yeah.
falling asleep, and she didn't look like Dora. She looked
Yeah,
different.
that's right. So I remember
Yeah.
you saying she looks different. Why does Dora look different?
Yeah.
It's strange in that room. It wasn't a great deal going on in that room, but I know that room has its moments. So it may be worth trying to stir up a little bit in there.
Maybe we have a
And
bit of luck this time.
Yeah, I think it will build up. The house does get better. So the first time I went there, it's very similar to when we were there. It was lots of bits and pieces, but as we went back more, it gave more. And I think it was on the second visit that I saw the apparition in the hallway. So, it's one of them places I think recognises you and starts to give you more. When we were there, we could have sworn it was Julia on the landing, wasn't it, Luke? That walked past and walked back again. But I don't know. I don't know who it was, but there was nobody there as we went out and checked. So quite who we saw walk past the door, I don't know. I think Angela saw it. Did you see it, Angela? The one that walked past the door? And we thought it was Julia.
I think someone's head was in the way, so by the time I looked, I'm not very tall.
Yeah. So it was interesting to see that. It could have been someone wandering around. I don't think so because it's gone near the doors banging or whatever, but
You
I
would have
don't
heard them
know.
going down the stairs or moving about, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But I sort of walked out to have a look, see if there was anybody there, so we could just at least say, no, that's someone walking to or one of the rooms. But I walked through the door and I couldn't see anybody there, so I wouldn't say it was an apparition. I don't know. I didn't see it long enough. It was a split second of someone out in and sticking their head round the corner and gone again.
Because I think at the beginning of the evening, myself and two other people, we headed up there, and we were in like another room off of the landing, and then we were sort of doing something on the landing, and we felt straight ahead. We felt we could see someone going across the corridor, sort of like 2 or 3 times, and we went and had a look. There was no one down there, but yeah, that was also, we got it sort of like maybe around the same area.
Yeah. So I don't know. It might be worth looking out for that Saturday. Maybe put a static camera down there. But there was something going on down the end of that. I don't know. But there was something going on. Whether it was someone wandering around, possibly. You got to try and debunk what you get anyway. So quite possibly it was someone walking past, going to a different room. There is lots of rooms, like Angela was saying, when she left the camera in a room and then couldn't find where it was. You're very brave walking around there on your own looking for your camera.
Yeah. Well, I thought I knew where I was going, and then I wasn't. But no.
I think it'd be nice to have, like
The stairs
floor
come from?
plan of
I weren't there before.
nice to have a
Yeah.
floor plan of how it was before they put all the rooms and corridors in.
I keep saying I'll have a look, see if I've got. We did have an original floor plan.
Oh, did you?
With the first event, with the first with Surrey Paranormal, when we were there, they gave us an original floor plan of the house because it never had the porch out the front where you walk through the big door. It never had that. It was just a flat door, and they had that built on so when the horses and the carriages came up, they didn't get wet getting out because they could actually get as tight to the door and get out of the carriage and straight into the door. So he had that built on a little bit later. The floor plan doesn't show that porch there. So the floor plan was very early in its build. So, yeah, very interesting place. So, Luke, got anything to add about equipment?
They just my Ren pod confuses me sometimes.
Yeah.
You're not sure if it's spirit doing it or like it doesn't work every place. To certain places it does it.
How about yourself, Angela?
I think the only faulty things I've had are because something I've done or haven't done, like forgetting to like clear the memory card so it gets full up after 5 minutes, or thinking I've charged something and I haven't, or forgetting the power bank and all that kind of stuff. So anything faulty has been my fault, really.
Funny, isn't it? Most of it's our fault, isn't it, really, when you think about it? Like Julie was saying earlier, not taking the sticky tape out and not charging it or charging it the wrong way. And, you know, we blame it, say, oh, that must be spirit. But then when you really think about it, think, did I actually charge that? I don't remember putting it on charge.
Because you're so tired, aren't you? You're just going away with the moment and you're like, oh, it must be a ghost.
Yeah, it's drained with batteries. Not that I didn't put them on charge, and they've been discharged for 3 weeks. Anyway, so if that's all there is for tonight, so thank you for tuning in tonight. Sorry, a bit late, but a bit of a crisis in the beginning, but we were there. We were on. We've done our Monday night, and so thank you for tuning in and watching us tonight and your comments. Nice to see some new people here. So if you can, just come in and comment. You know, to give us a subject if you want us to talk about a subject, or you'd like to come on the panel and chat about a subject. I'm trying to get a special guest to come on in the next couple of weeks, so that will be interesting. So I'm just in a chat with them at the moment. So hopefully I'll get them on in the next few weeks. So a really interesting guy. So, you know, it remains for me to say have a very, very safe week and look out. And we'll be back next Monday with reports from Merriswood. So if you want to get your tickets, paranation.co.uk, get on there, get your tickets. It's this Saturday coming. Come and join us. We do actually look better at night than we do on here. So you're all right. You've got nothing to be scared of in the dark. We're very good looking in the dark. So only makes me say again, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.